Hello, this is Luigix, and this is gonna be a quite extensive video. I wanted to make quite a lot of videos in the past weeks, and unfortunately none of them ever got finished really, aside from a couple of small ones. That is mainly due to time issues, but also some of the videos were not quite up to my standard. But I kind of also didn't want to let the footage be in vain and wasted, but so kind of figured I'm gonna make one longer video and put basically everything in, make it a little bit shorter, just so everything is still up on my channel. So the stuff that I want to talk about is basically my my upgrades for my PC, some stuff that I received. Well, I kind of wanted to unbox, but it wasn't really worth unboxing in the end, and stuff about me moving, that's also gonna change up the channel a little bit, and a couple of upcoming games, mainly shooters, because this channel is mainly about shooters. And yeah, then that's gonna be it. Basically my short opinions on stuff and some stuff for the channel that I wanted to talk about. So, if you have read my tweets, which I don't think a lot of people are doing, I mainly get an almost new PC rig. Only thing that's left from my old one is pretty much my hard drives and my graphics card. I had already upgraded to a 980 Ti some while ago. My CPU was bottlenecking a little bit. So I kind of hoped that DirectX 12 would help me with that, but since that is not really coming out and only some games are gonna support it, I figured it would be best to upgrade to a new CPU. Unfortunately, that means new mainboard, and that also in this case meant more RAM, because I got a 6600K, which is pretty good for the price, I figure. That meant I had to get a new mainboard, which is in my case the Asus Z170A, because I heard a lot of good stuff about that. And with the new processor generation, you also have to get new RAM, because the only RAM of DDR3 that works with that, because it has to be lower voltage, is some special DDR3 that almost no one has. So I'd either buy that or DDR4. And then if I have to rebuy anyway, then I'm gonna go for DDR4. So I got HyperX Fury, 4GB RAM, 16 gigs. So yeah, that is my new rig now. Pretty beastly now actually, with the 980 Ti. So yeah, I can play everything on Uber settings pretty much. Pretty incredible. And I shortly after that also bought a G-Sync monitor, 144Hz. Yeah, I love G-Sync, I gotta say. I got that right before I got Tomb Raider, and Tomb Raider was also the first game that I tried with G-Sync. And Tomb Raider is pretty well optimized, I gotta say, but the frame rate does switch up a little bit in the regions. Some regions it's, well, 120 and stuff in that range, and sometimes it goes down to 70 or 60. It is, well, as I said, pretty well optimized, but in some regions, especially when trees are around, I believe, the frame rate drops quite extensively. But yeah, G-Sync is really great, and I didn't even have higher than 60 Hz yet before that, so basically I get the double new experience of having 144 Hz and G-Sync. Yeah, I think that's great. Even moving my mouse just on the monitor looks amazing now. Aside from PC stuff, I also got some anime stuff. I was on a anime festival and I watched 4 movies, and I bought a day ticket, and that gives you a small bag with a lot of anime bullshit in. Biggest, or let's say most expensive thing was actually a volume of an anime on DVD. That was what was that called? Samurai something, and it's kind of like One Punch Man, where the guy just randomly decides to become a hero. Thing is, unlike in One Punch Man, that guy does not actually have superpowers, so he just goes around and bugs people for smoking in the non-smoking zone and shit like that, and he has a friend who is a police officer. I don't know, I haven't watched it that much yet, I just watched the first episode. My volume is unfortunately not the first one, but the second one. But of course I wanted to see what the beginning is like before I just jump into, I think episode 3 it must be. Yeah, pretty cool. And it also has a lot of posters and cards and everything. It also has a card with the autographs of all the voice actors for the Anthem of the Heart, which was by far my favorite movie of that festival. It also has a small booklet about Love Live, which, holy shit, there were so many Love Live fans in that movie. Those were 2 movies that I watched. The third one was KIZUMONOGATARI, and of course that was only part 1, but that was also really good. And the fourth thing that I watched was the premiere of Danmachi with the German dub. I gotta say the German dub is not even too bad. Peppermint Anime actually has pretty good German dubs. It's just, unfortunately, sometimes some characters stick out as just not fitting the voice. Or rather, the voice not fitting the character. That was the case with Kill la Kill. That was kind of sad, because all the other characters were really good, like Mankanchika Family, really good. I think that dub was better than the English one, and was almost on par with the Japanese for being a dub as well. But yeah, main character Satsuki and Ryuko just didn't sound, well, I would not say didn't sound bad, but the voices just did not fit the characters really. But yeah, I watched those 4. There would have been more, but I just didn't have the time. It already took the whole day to watch those. But yeah, a lot of anime bullshit. I also bought a new manga. Well, not new manga. I just bought a volume of Tokyo Ghoul randomly. And yeah, my corner with anime stuff is really filling up, and it's gonna get more filled. I don't only have the small Kongyu figure yet, because I'm gonna get 2 more in the end of March or beginning of April. That is actually Your Lie in April. A Kaori figure, that's a bigger one, and an Nendoroid of Umaru-chan. It starts to fill up, really. On other news, I was in Venice last week for Carnival, and actually also for my birthday. And I was running around cosplaying Ezio Auditore, and that was pretty cool. People took pictures with me. I even had a show fight with a ninja, because, I don't know, they just kind of ran by, pointed at me, so of course I unsheathed my hidden blade, which works, which is pretty cool. People always freak out when they see that, and so did those guys. So that ninja tried to pull out his weapon, so I just ran at him. He pulled his weapon, we had a small fight, and then I stabbed him. Everything, watched it. I think some guy even filmed it. It was really cool. I've yet to find it on the internet. I'm pretty sure those guys would have uploaded it. But yeah, I took a couple of pictures with especially a lot of Koreans, I believe. Yeah, really cool. I loved Venice. The weather wasn't really good, but if you're not too far from Venice, if you live in Europe, and you kind of don't like really festivals where they cosplay usually, you can also do that in Venice. Like, there was a lot of people who were just cosplaying favorite characters. Usually that works because the motto in Venice is, well, at least this week it was basically anything. But even if the motto is something different, there's always going to be people running around as whatever. So that was pretty neat. And to get to the last blabbering about my life, I am gonna move to Frankfurt probably next month or so, end of next month. already have my apartment. I actually have bad news because I traveled there yesterday to get my internet set up, but the technician said, oh yeah, that's not possible with the contract that you had, because I had a contract with Unity Media, and they assured me, oh yeah, you can use TV cable connection, yet there was no TV cable connection to be found, and now I have to switch up to a different contract, which is probably, hopefully, gonna be the same speed. But yeah, that was annoying. That was like a 120 euro trip for absolutely nothing. But yeah, I will move. We'll hopefully get better internet, more stable internet at least, because mine here is crashing a lot. And I hope I will also be able to stream then with a decent upload. And yeah, I hopefully will also be able to set up properly, because my room here is filled and I have way too many screens and cables, and I need a new desk, and oh god, so much shit. So I hope when I move I can make a clean cut and set up everything properly. As I said, that is gonna be the last thing about me especially. So getting to games, my current game, well, my main game is still Battlefield 4. I actually got promoted in Veritas Gaming to being the squad leader, and I'm starting to do the practices a little bit different. Still a lot of fun. I always have fun when I have Battlefield, when I play Battlefield. I mean, of course it does get old at some point after like 1,200 hours, sure, but I mean, that I can still have fun with something and I'm not completely bored of something after 1,200 hours is impressive enough. I think it could be the time for a new Battlefield. I'll probably try Hardline again, because they kind of wanted to fix the balancing, change the time to kill on PC, and just check out what they changed. I mean, most changes I thought, well, yeah, great, and was the balance fix? Oh, not there. Well, I don't care. But I have it on DVD, so I don't even have to download it with my shitty internet, so I might just give it a try. I don't think it's gonna replace Battlefield 4 though. Just gonna be a side game that I will try to see what's going on with that. Maybe a video about that as well. Growing hugely within me is Counter-Strike Global Offensive. It's kind of like a new challenge for me. Not sure how that's gonna go. I'm just uploading stuff from Counter-Strike, as you might have seen. I'm curious to compare the stuff that I upload now that I think is good to maybe what I upload in 6 months about Counter-Strike. Just watching the difference. Kind of documenting the way. I'm still also playing Battlefront. I'm also the game leader for Battlefront in VG still. And of course that is not as popular as it was on release. But I still don't think it's a bad game. I think it is actually a really good game. It just gets old a lot quicker than a lot of other shooters. But that doesn't mean it's bad. It just means you have, well, fun for less time. But I played for like, I think 38 hours. And I think the first 20 hours were in the first week or first 2 weeks or something. So I mean, I played it really extensively. Still have fun every time I play it. I think if a game is good or bad isn't determined by how much content it has or how much longevity it has. I mean, sure, that's a factor for some people, but like a 4-hour game can be really good as well. I mean, I started playing the Firewatch just today, which was given to me for birthday by Rain. Thanks for that, by the way. And that is, I haven't finished it yet. It's supposed to be a really short game, but so far I really liked it, and I just liked the time that I spent in it. So I'm not mad at Battlefront. I'm gonna see what the DLC content and the free DLC content will be. That's gonna give the game a push, I hope or believe. But yeah, as I said, I still like the game. Of course, more content would be nice, but I don't hate it. It's my guilty pleasure, if you want. Some people have tried to drag me into Rainbow Six Siege, which I think is interesting, but it's still not fixed. They made it better than it was on launch, but there's still like compared to other games, so many bugs. Like compared to Battlefront, like people say Battlefront is bad, but Battlefront is just, well, doesn't have that much content and is technically not really flawed. But Siege just has a lot of flaws, and every time they patch something else doesn't work again. The ranks keep getting better or more, keep making more sense with every update, I hear, but still not that much. No one really knows. It's not even like Counter-Strike, where it's basically you win, you lose, you win, you lose, you win. Okay, then you rank up, you lose, you rank down. It seems to be kind of random in Siege. But yeah, that's not my main issue even. It's really the netcode and that I can't trust it. And also the animations. I mean, I don't know if you have heard, but sometimes, or a lot of times, the animations just don't fit what's going on. So a guy's looking in a direction and actually he's looking in a complete different direction, but in game his model is just not turning ever. And it's not like Battlefield 4 bad netcode that the guy turns around later. No, he just doesn't turn around at all. He will always look in one direction in the game while he's actually looking right at you, and then the shots actually come out of his back or something. So a lot of weird stuff. I'm kind of keen on seeing how you could work out tactics for that game, but I'm gonna wait until it's either more just cheaper and fixed, or, well, I'm gonna see. I played the beta of The Division, and I think that is an interesting game. A lot of people, of course, again saying, oh yeah, not enough content, but really, I don't care about content anymore. I have so much to do that I'm kind of glad if a game does not just throw so much stuff at me. If a game entertains me for 4 hours, or 10 hours, or 15 hours, I'm fine. I don't need a 60-hour game every time. I mean, I like The Witcher 3, for example, but I'm not even close to finishing that. And even at this point, I'm not sure if I ever will, if I don't have a really extensive holiday and no other games to play. So I don't think that's a concern for me, and I'm not that keen on the Dark Zone. I mean, sure, there's better loot there, and then there's the PvP, but like, when I entered the beta, I played with one friend in co-op. We entered the Dark Zone, and literally, I think 10 seconds after we entered the Dark Zone, we got shot. It was incredible. It just tells you so much about the mentality of the players. I didn't go rogue at all at that point, and then I played with some VG members, and we were constantly rogue. We were constantly screwing people over. Not that I wanted it, but one guy was always like, oh yeah, I shot him, and then we were all rogue, and well, at that point it was kind of too late. But yeah, I don't like that gameplay at all. It doesn't seem like there's really something that you can achieve from that, because the only thing you get is a lot better loot, but the loot that you get from the normal game seems to be enough for the normal game for PvE. So the only stuff that you can acquire in PvP seems to also just be to be better in PvP. So if you just decide to ignore the Dark Zone completely, you're probably fine as well. So I'm more keen on possible raids that they want to introduce into the game, so you can play co-op in cooler, longer missions. And well, the story is in there, but yeah, raids would be really cool. I really hope that is a thing and that was not just a rumor. There's also, talking about rumors, there's also rumors about the next Battlefield, Battlefield Armageddon, or as some people call it, Battlefield 5, or some people even really specific, Battlefield 2143. I'd be fine with 2143 really, as long as it's complex enough and it launches in a good state. I'd like a new Battlefield really, but the rumors that it will release this year, end of this year, I kinda don't believe them. because all DICE studios are still busy, so no one has really started, and the Battlefield 4 was announced way earlier. They only, I think, revealed it on E3, so like half a year before they released it, but it was announced way before that, so everyone already knew Battlefield 4 was gonna come on the E3, and just bring out a new Battlefield. I don't believe it, really. But I'm keen to see what's gonna happen to the Battlefield series. And talking about DICE, I'm also really hyped for Mirror's Edge 2, or Mirror's Edge Catalyst. It's not actually 2, it's a prequel. That just looks so amazing. I just can't wait to jump around a little bit more. Mirror's Edge 1 was really one of my favorite games, and still is, so I'm really looking forward to that one. As I said, I'm playing the new Tomb Raider right now, Rise of the Tomb Raider. I'm playing that for the VG review group. I'm gonna do a review, or someone's gonna do a review on it. I'm also still working on the Battlefront review, basically. Hard to say. It's more of an opinion piece, probably, or an overview, because of course a review would be too late. But I kind of want to get my opinion out anyway, because really I don't understand all the hate that's coming towards the game. So I still kind of want to talk about it, but I think I'm gonna prepare something and then finish it up when the first DLC comes out, so I can bring some stuff from that into the opinion piece as well. Yeah, VG review group. There's not much going on the outside, but on the inside there's a lot of people working really hard to make that happen. And yeah, I really hope when we finally officially launch and we're gonna do live streams and shit like that, that it's gonna be enjoyable for everyone who's watching. Just advertising a little bit. So yeah, that's basically my point on some things and some updates, so you know. So yeah, that was it, I believe. If you have any questions about my new hardware or my anime stuff, or what I'm watching right now, or what I'm playing right now, or whatever, yeah, just ask. I'm looking forward to producing content more regularly, and more maybe on other stuff as well. I kind of wanted to try more things about anime as well, but I'm gonna try to figure out a format for that, or different ones. But yeah, looking forward to producing more content, especially when my internet is better and it doesn't take hours to upload shit. So yeah, this was Luigix. Remember, the one is silent.